Mhm.
Okay, all right. Welcome, Ms. Mack. We're going to go through your assessment that I've created for you
Okay.
through West Georgia. Before we start, I just wanted to share with you that looking at these ratings and how it reflects leader keys, the expected level of proficiency is the level for being skilled. That's the level that we're working towards.
Okay.
You do, as you go down, we'll have a few that were above the 4, and you have a few that were below the 4. And I'm pretty sure you may have questions on what you can do to improve in those areas. So we just start with standard 1. If you have any questions, look at the ratings that you were given, and we can discuss any of those that you wanted to discuss.
Okay, looking at the professional learning community, can you provide me some ways that I can improve in that area?
Okay. All right. So when looking at professional learning communities, this actually has two folds. If you look at standard 3, if you
Okay.
look at that third bullet where it says develop comprehensive long-range plans that guide faculty and our staff to attain goals,
Okay.
this is an area where essentially I kind of want you to step outside your comfort zone. You're great when it comes to facilities, and I do know that a lot of our professional learning communities, from an instruction standpoint, are led by our instructional coaches as well as the API. Want you to be more hands-on in that area there,
Okay.
working with the API, going into those sessions, looking at teachers, their needs, getting a better idea of the assessment. So when you're going in doing observations, we know all in one accord. Also, you can do it from a grade level standpoint, or you may just want to take a couple of teachers under your wings,
Okay.
teachers that you can mentor, specifically with some of the areas that we're looking at when it comes to weaknesses within the instruction.
Okay.
Not just a one-time thing, but maybe follow those students, those teachers. I'm sorry, and guide them and work them throughout the year. So that actually will take the care of standard 1 as well as the standard 3 in
Okay.
that area there. Okay,
Okay.
all right. The other areas you did receive all 4, some of which you easily could have received the 5, but I always feel that we always want to work
Okay.
towards that goal. But I'm pretty confident in everything else within that standard that you're doing a great job in.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Then you go down to standard 2 and the school climate. You can tell I gave you a 5 in 2 areas. When it comes to safe school plans, outstanding job. I don't think we've ever had below 100 on any of our audits. Develops and implement best practice in school-wide behavior. Doing a great job managing students, working with the school community as a whole. Everything is solid in that area. Once again, if you go back to that 3 there, it still kind of falls within that same time frame.
Okay.
The mentor and the developing of the leaders. Building for capacity.
Okay.
And so just an area there is just more or less working specifically with having documentation that shows that you're working with teachers who may be struggling.
Okay.
When it comes to classroom management, things of that nature. You have a good plan in place, but at the same time, what we want to do is just have the meetings and the follow-up meetings and the monitoring. Maybe have those teachers go through and do observations of other teachers, who have strong classroom management, and that's that mentoring and development piece for them.
Okay.
Okay, all right. With the planning and assessment and standard 3, routines, operating procedures, hands-on, smooth efficiency. I rate you 5 in those areas because I think you're above and beyond. You're very, peculiar when it comes to the operations, things of that nature. Monitoring our programs is real solid. I got 4s.
Okay.
Using data to track progress of individual groups of students over time. Got 4 that area, whether it's attendance, discipline, even the hands-on that you are, with students when it comes to grades and assessments. Now, the area we discussed previously about the long-range plans. Once again, I think the key word, if you underline that, is long range. Exactly. And that is what we're talking about guiding and that follow-through. Okay? All right, the organizational management is actually one of your strong suits. You can tell from the first 5 standards, you did receive all 5s. I think you're above and beyond, go above and beyond expectations in that area there. The other part is an area that you have not had an opportunity, but you will get more of that. Communicate local and state school board fiscal policies.
Okay.
That is why I had you, go to those different regional meetings about facilities and things of that nature to just be more familiar with that area there.
Okay.
And so we do a good job when it comes to Title I and local school budgets and policies, but we're just going to find more opportunities where the community school board policies, you can communicate that. Maybe an opportunity this year, I may have you maybe speak at a PTSA meeting on my part when I do the principal report.
Okay.
If it's anything reference in the school, maybe become a little bit more familiar with advanced ed to speak on that as well, since that is a district policy we have right now.
Okay.
And probably more dealing with the SIP as well, because the SIP has been consolidated. Initially it was just a Title I school-wide, and then now you just have a school-wide plan. It's at one plan now.
Okay.
And so that is something that we're giving an opportunity. But it's the technology, everything fine, your annual budget, everything looks good in those areas. 5, human resources and management, all 4s and 5s. Is there any area within there that you may, one of the 4s where you say you may want to get to that 5 level?
Probably when we go to looking at, like you said, and I think it'll all come together where it says provide support for the new teachers.
Okay,
mentoring.
exactly.
And I think all those are tied up, and then that one will move up to a 5.
Exactly.
So.
And just know some of these things could be 5s, but the only difference is you just have not had that opportunity.
Okay.
Because we know right now with the new teacher mentorship that runs, that's responsibility of another administrator. So it's just more or less, although you may not necessarily be the lead on that,
Okay.
still kind of be a part of the familiarize yourself,
Okay.
because you may be called upon to work in that area one day.
Okay.
Our teacher staff evaluation, I think we're pretty solid. You're good with your feedback, being critical of teachers, conducting observations. I think that area there is solid. Really have no concerns in that area. You're not, you will not hold back if it's something that's not working. You will not hesitate to inform them. So I'm pretty confident in your abilities in that area there. Okay. And the last one, professionalism, I rated you 5 all across the board. The only area in which I was, when I saw this, I was like, wow, visit other schools. I said, that's kind of unfair because we're trying to do everything here at Champion. So only because I know we have not done that did I go with the 3. But I'll probably get more clarity on exactly what the expectation would be in that area.
Okay.
As far as what are we doing. You may not visit other schools, but the fact that you go to the leadership academies with the APs, you get to visit other APs. I think that would be sufficient. So this is one that I could have easily went with the 4 or a 5 in. However, I'm just not sure exactly what their definition is when they mean visit other schools. Because in most cases, when people doing that, is almost like if there's a deficiency in an area, and I didn't see that.
Okay.
But that's kind of what we have here for my assessment. I'm pretty sure you have your own opinion. On that. So that's what we have here. Okay. You have any other questions?
No, that explains it.
Okay.
That helps a lot too.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.